Hi AppSheet Angels, welcome back to lesson 4. So just before we start off this video, I did find a better, higher quality version of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck under Creative Commons license. So I'll show you where it is here. It's just actually from the Internet Archive. So you can scroll down, you can flick through and see all of them. It is taking a while to load because it's so high quality. The whole deck is 263 megabytes, so they're quite big image files. But the important thing is here, public domain mark 1, CC. So this means that you're actually allowed to do whatever you want with it, basically. There's no copyright on it. So you can even sell it if you want. There's really no kind of limit to what you can do with it. So this is perfect for use in our app. So if you just go back here and then click PNG and then click this one to download all of them in one folder. So I'm actually just going to go back to my sheets here and change all the images that we did. So I'll just work out how to quickly do that, and then if you're in the same position, like if you've been following the lessons in order and you need to do this too, like if you want to use this folder instead, I'll show you how to do it here. If you're not interested in that, you can just skip ahead. Okay, I don't really have a good answer for you because the way that the files are named, you can see they're not like numbered really easily in a way that I can quickly fix in Google Sheets with the formula. So I'm just gonna, I guess the cups one is, maybe there is a quicker way we can do this. Alright, so I'm just uploading all the rest of the photos, the scans, into the deck images folder from the last lesson. I'm not renaming them or anything, and since I've already done all the major arcana, I'm just going to leave them all there, and I'm just going to do the rest of them. Okay, you can see here we're just going to copy this naming convention again. So, like that. And then we'll look at the folder at what it's called now. So let's just rename that. Oops. Copy that out of there. Bring it back here and pop it in like that. So we're just going to get rid of the .png again and then see if this works. Oh, but actually we need to move that down because that's for the ace of wands, but it's the 2. And also it's meant to be cups. So let's just cut that and bring it down to 2 of cups here. Yeah. We'll just delete that. Okay, so hopefully it lets us just drag it down. Yeah, perfect. So we'll go all the way to 10. Perfect. Now we can just do that for all the rest of them. And then the other ones we're just going to have to add manually, but that's fine. And you can use the same method I used in the last one to add the PNG back on there. But I'm not going to repeat that in this video. I show you how to do that quickly for the whole list in the last lesson if you want to flick back over to that. So I'm just going to move on now to the actual start of this video, the actual rest of the lesson. But yeah, this looks a bit better, I think, using it from the Internet Archive. Okay, I'll just show you really quickly. So you just use equals join and then a comma because of the delimiter, we want to have none. Then just click this column here to select it for F35, and then you want to do quote.png. So now that you have that, see how it's shown us, it's added the .png on the end. So you can just grab this and drag it all the way down, and it's added PNG to all of them. Now we just want to cut or copy. Let's just say cut, and then we'll paste it over the top of this, but we'll do paste special, values only, and then we'll just delete this one. There you go. And that's all fixed up. So I'm going to finish the rest now. Okay, you can see I've added all of those in now. But one important thing I noticed, which is a good lesson, is that there's no knight, page, king or queen in here. And this is because we just relied on ChatGPT building this spreadsheet for us. And I missed that it left out all of those suits until just now. So that's a good lesson, that you can't always rely on the AI to do it properly. It leaves things out. So I'm just going to go in and manually add page, knight, queen, king to all the suits, and then we'll keep going. Alright, I've gone through and added it all in now and updated all the image files. I haven't added the description, I'll do that at a later point. But this is probably a good time to mention I will offer my own copies, so you can make a duplicate clone of this AppSheet app, including this exact spreadsheet with everything already done and the folder that has all of the images in it already linked to everything inside the app. So essentially, I'll put this behind a course on my website, firesofalchemy.com, and you can pay to have access to like these bonus sort of features on the course. So obviously it's all free, like you can watch the lessons and build it all yourself. You can find all the images for free, so you don't need to pay for my course, but it's just a way to show you appreciation and to like fund it so I can keep making more lessons. It's also just a shortcut if you just want to click copy and have an access to all of this work already done basically, and to a working AppSheet app based on wherever we're up to in these lessons. So I'll hopefully get that done tonight and put it in the description, otherwise it will be coming soon. But I just thought I'd mention that. Okay, let's quickly jump back into the app and just check that it's all working properly and that the new cards have come up in here. So it should show everything. Come on, it looks like it's loading. They're quite big image files, so it takes a little while, but it should save them. That's also a consideration, like that's 250 megabytes of storage on your phone, and also of download that you need to do the first time. So you might want to use lower quality images, to be honest. It will make your app load a lot faster, take up less space on your device, but I kind of like just having really high quality because then you can zoom right in like that. But anyway, so that's working. We'll go back and add descriptions for like the page and knight and king and queen. But let's jump into what this lesson's actually going to be about, which is adding a new table over here, and we're going to make it so you can actually give a reading, and we're going to add a reading section to the app this lesson. So let's jump back over to Google Sheets. So what we're going to have to do here is create a new sheet at the bottom basically. So just click new. We're going to name this one, let's call it readings. Alright, so it'll be kind of like the last one. We're going to have to come up with some column names. So obviously we're going to do ID. A quick way I usually do is just copy this and then we can change it. And we'll just go freeze top row. Great. So we'll keep ID. We might delete that and keep title. Then let's say cards. So this will just be a list of which cards get pulled. We'll say here interpretation. So this will be where you write your interpretation. And then I think let's just start with that for now. It doesn't need to be super fancy. So we'll jump back over to AppSheet. What we're going to do now is add this as a data. So go back to Google Sheets. We should be able to select the same tarot app. And see, now we've got readings. We can go add one table. And it should show up. Okay, so we've got readings here now. Let's just make this a little bigger. So we can see we've got, can I get rid of that? No. All right, so we've added readings. What we're going to do now is change the type. So we want cards. This will be the list of cards we've pulled. So we actually need to make this a list. So you can go, enum will be a list, but I think we actually want EnumList. So you can click here and see a bit more information about it. I'll just move myself out of the way a bit more. So this basically just means a list of other lists. So base type, we just want it to be, actually, let me think about this quickly. Sorry, I was just having a moment. We want it to be a list of references. References are going to come up a lot. This is going to be a really important concept in AppSheet overall. So it's going to be a list of the IDs that we're going to reference from the deck. So we're just going to say reference table name will be deck. Hopefully this should just work when we click done, EnumList. And then what we're going to want to do is add it as a view. So we have to actually come over to views, but I think I'm in the way again now. So I might have to move my face, but click views, and we want to add, let's say, primary navigation, add view. Let's just go create new. Okay, so here we want it to be for the readings table, and we're just going to call this readings. Okay, so you can see now we've got readings down here and deck over here still. So you can rearrange these as well up here, I'm pretty sure. Maybe you can just drag it. Nope. There is a way to do it. I'll think about it later. So anyway, we've got readings down here. What we can see now is if we click the plus and we can come to cards, and that should have worked, but it didn't. Let me click save first, it might fix it up. But I might have to add that manually, the auto populate part. Yeah, that's fine. That warning's okay. You can just sort of ignore it. But we look like we've frozen over here, so I'm just going to refresh the page. Okay, I think we're back in business. All right, so to come over to readings, we'll do a new reading and click cards. Okay, so it's not working automatically, which is unfortunate, but I can show you how to add this now. So if we come to cards and we scroll down to auto compute. So this is where you can make formulas for what should show up basically. Here we want suggested values. So this is when we click that plus button down here, the list that pops up should be a list of the values from the deck sheet. So if we go basically type an expression, tap this to show all available columns, we actually want to just go, I think we just write cards. What's the name of it? Deck, I think. So if we go deck and then just go ID. So that should be a list of, I think that's how it works. List of deck ID. Is that? Yeah, there we go. So that just lists everything in the deck table. And we can even add more than one. So you can see if this was our reading, we've pulled the 5 of wands, the 6 of wands, and the 7 of wands. And now we might write our interpretation here. So, I mean, lots of wands, bro. So let's just do that. And then I think that's it. There should be a save button. But maybe it's because I haven't hit save up here. Anyway, I'm not really demoing this very well. But you can sort of get the concept. Yeah, so I just refreshed again. I'm running this in Safari, but Google likes to break things that aren't inside Google Chrome because they want you to use Google Chrome. Um, I personally just prefer Safari because it's linked to my iPhone and everything. And it uses less battery than Google Chrome. But specifically for using AppSheet, I think it actually runs better in Google Chrome, obviously. But here I refreshed it, let's say lots of major arcana, and hit save. And here you can see we have a reading. So this has just been a really basic way to introduce that concept to you of how you can link the different sheets together and how that can actually help you sort of add features to your deck. So this is just the beginning. We're going to add a lot more and flesh this out a bit better. But this was more of just an example of what we're going to do. So that's really just the concept of how to add the list, but obviously we need like a shuffle, sort of pull the cards for us kind of button. So now I'm going to show you how you can add actions inside your app, which is like adding buttons basically. So you can see we've come over here onto the side, the lightning bolt, which is actions. I think I'm just going to see if I can remember how to do this off the top of my head, but we're going to do this for the reading deck. So we go add action, go create a new action, and let's just say pull cards. So for this record, do this, set the value of some columns in this row. I think that is what we're going to use. So set these columns, we're going to make it cards, and that's where we're going to be able to add the formula. If we change this to primary, I think it makes it big here. So it will show up, no, I kind of want it to show up on this screen. We've got pool cards here. So actually, I know what we might do. Let's jump back to Google Sheets and add another column to this app. All right, so here on Google Sheets, we're just going to add a column here on the left, and we're going to call it number. What should we call it? Let's call it number in here, and then we're going to name it something else in the app. So jump back over to AppSheet, and we're going to regenerate the schema. So come up to data, come to readings, and then we're going to hit regenerate schema. So that's going to save for us and then regenerate it, and it should add the column that we just added here. So you can see now we've got number. So what we actually want to do is click on edit, and then we're going to change the, I'll just move my face again. We're going to change the display name for this. So if you just scroll down, leave column name because that's like the official name. But if you come down to display, you can see we've got display name. So this keeps the column name inside the sheet the same, but it'll display a different name, whatever you want in the app. So we're just going to write in quotes. If it's text, you should usually put it in quotes, but we'll just see if that, you do sometimes and you don't sometimes have to use quotes. But let's call it how many cards, which will just be how many cards do we want to pull, but it's always going to be a number. So if we hit done, it should show up in here. Maybe if we hit edit. See, now it says how many cards instead of just number, and we can click plus and minus like that to show how many cards. So this is going to make sense when we go back to the action button. So if we come back to action, and this is what I mean about Safari being a bit buggy in AppSheet, like this isn't refreshing, and it means I have to refresh it every time. So I'm just going to do that now. All right, we're back. So just come down back to the pull cards action, and we're going to come here and add a formula. So this is basically what formula will get executed when the user taps on the button. What we want to do is select a number of random cards from the list of the deck of cards. And the way we're going to get the number is the user is going to select how many cards they want to pull and then hit save, and then they can hit the reading button that pulls the cards for them. So basically to do that, we're just going to look at here, so number. See, we're in the columns, and we're just going to say column name number. Actually, let me just work out exactly how this formula is going to work before I mess it up. So essentially we're going to use the rand between function, which is what it sounds like. Randomly select a number between this number and this number. So I'll show you another good tip is this help me with expressions page down here. If you open that up, it shows you exactly how all the expressions work inside AppSheet and like why you might want to use them. You can also search by keyword and it will tell you exactly how to use it. So let's say rand. We've got rand between here and we can click learn more. And then it brings us to the full page with examples of how you can use it, different ways to use it, and similar formulas, because it might not be the exact one you want, but there might be another one that works the way you want it to. So potentially like index might be better. Returns a randomly chosen student's name. Yeah, so anyway, I'm just going to have a quick think about it and put this formula together for us. I think it'll be a good way to just show you how I would like start to tackle this and then iterate on it, because that's what you're going to have to do for yourself after you finish this tutorial. So we basically want to use that index formula, this one here. So just to try and explain it, the index function is just going to pick a random value from a list. This here is like students is the name of the table. So for us, it would be deck. And this is the column it's going to pull the list from. So for us, it would be ID. And then here it's saying pick a random number between 1 and the count of how many entries are in that table, that list of IDs, basically. That's kind of hard to think about when I'm explaining it to you, but I'll show you in practice how it works now. So I'm going to copy this and then modify it for ours to make sense. So this is going to be deck. This is going to be ID. And then we're just going to copy that and replace it over here as well. So this isn't the final formula because this is only going to select one card, but let's just see if it works and we'll make it prominent. So let's hit save. Hopefully that doesn't screw up again. And we'll come back to readings. So here we'll open it up. So when we click this pull card button, it should replace this with one random card. Yep, 9 of 1s. If we hit it again, it should just keep picking a random card from that list of cards. So this is working exactly how we want it to work, basically. Oh, sorry, my head was in the way. But yeah, so just click pull cards and you can see every time we click it, it picks one random card from that list. So it's just executing that function over and over again, the random number picker and yeah. So now we just want to somehow make it pick a list based on the number of how many cards we want to pull selected in the column by the user. So I'll just have a think about how to modify the formula for that now. Okay, I think I know what we're going to do. Every time we click this button, it erases what was already in that cell and replaces it with a new random one. So at least to start with, what we want to do is get it to read what's already in that cell and then add on to it instead of replacing it. So every time we click it, it should add one more card onto the end of the pre-existing list. So let's try that. So if we flick over to text, it's going to have concatenate, which basically just means to join, I think. Actually, let me just check if that's correct. So we'll say concat, merge text from parts. Yeah. So that's exactly what we want. So I usually just come down here and go insert. So we'll insert concatenate and we'll say reading. Oh no, sorry. It's already going to be contextualized to that deck. So we'll say cards is what we want, isn't it? It's reading from the readings. What do we want to do? Cards, sorry. What am I doing? Yeah, so we want to read the cards column. And then what we want to concatenate on the end is this formula. So hopefully it just lets us do it like this. Okay, we've got the tick down here. So it usually pre-checks that it's a functional function. If we hit save, and then I'll just try it. Sometimes you have to save before you try it again, or it doesn't work yet. But yeah, that's not, oh yeah, that's kind of working. But not quite. So see how it just keeps mashing up all the ID strings? I think what we need to do is here have a comma. No, maybe a comma and a comma? Oh, what am I doing? Sorry. We need to add a comma as well. So it's going to concatenate part 1. Okay, so maybe if we go part 1 here, add a comma. Yep, and then a quote and a comma and another quote. This might not make any sense, but basically we're trying to say we're going to add the whatever's in the card column plus our formula to pick a random ID plus a comma on the end, so that every time we add one more, it's going to put a comma in between them so it looks like a list rather than just a big mess. So let's see if that worked. Yeah, so it's adding columns now, but I think let's just save it and then do a fresh one and hopefully it works a bit better. So let's delete that, do a new one. Let's just say to test. Anyway, we'll just save it and let's go pull cards. Okay, so it's sort of working. It is selecting the right thing for us, but now it's not showing us the title. It's showing us that. So there might be a problem over here in the data. If we go to readings, EnumList. I wonder why this broke. It's got something to do with our formula. So it's a list of references from deck. I think I know what the issue is. So that was my bad. Over here in concatenate, so this cards, concatenate what's in cards plus deck ID and a comma. No, so I think that's right. Oh, sorry. This lesson's spiraling out of control now. Sorry. This is how it happens though. You sort of have to troubleshoot as you go and work out why your formula is not working. A lot of building in here is just trial and error. So I'll have another think about it and come back. All right, I'm doing some testing and it should work because when I manually select multiple, it works. I think it's, I need to add a space. I think it's literally just a missing space. So I'll try and fix that now. Where are we? So if we come back to actions, it's my face in the way. I never know where to put my face. Okay, so we go to pull cards, we'll come back here, and then let's just put a space on either side. And I think that should fix it. Let's just edit this and wipe this out. So we'll untick that mess, hit done, hit save. Now it should work. No, something's wrong with my formula. What's it doing? Maybe I've got too many spaces. Space on that side. Like it should just go King of Pentacles and then... Oh, sorry. I know what it is. I need to add it here. And then like that, and remove this off the end. Okay. I think that should solve it, guys. Sorry, I've been such a hot mess in this lesson, but I think it's good for you to see my process because, God damn it. Oh, wait. Yay, it's working. Okay, so what was it? Oh, it just needs, okay, we did it. Woo! So now you can just keep pulling cards and give it a sec to refresh and it'll update. Or maybe it won't. Did I speak too soon? Okay, I celebrated too soon. I'm not sure what the issue is though. I feel like maybe I need to pick something first. No, that's not right. Maybe it's because I haven't hit save and I'm just being a hot mess. Oh, am I even going to post this lesson? It's been such a fizzling ride. Why won't you just work though? That's what I want to know. Yeah, like what? Like it's kind of working. Yeah. Does it break after a certain number? Like I feel like that should still work. Oh yeah. So maybe it's just something to do with the updating. But I wonder if I hit it like heaps of times, like that, is that going to break it? See what happens when it synchronizes. I think if we hit the synchronize button, maybe it'll happen quicker as well. Oh, great. Okay. Well, I think we sort of did it. This video is getting quite long though, so I think I'm going to wrap it up for now. But this is only the start of this function, so we're going to actually use the number of how many cards you pick. But this is just showing you sort of how to evolve your function over time. Thanks for sticking with me for this lesson. Sorry it was a bit all over the place, but I guess you're seeing in real time kind of how I work through the issues, which is good to see.